I do.
Oh. I asked you if the owl was ready.
Yeah. Ready.
Yeah, it was ready. All right, any adjustments to the agenda?
I'd like to make a comment. I'd like to read something. I don't know if that means putting it aside or not. I don't know.
Would,
I want to talk about, I want to bring it up, the fact that my stuff wasn't put on the agenda originally. I want to bring that up. I want to talk about it. Can I do that right now?
well, I mean, are we gonna adjust anything to the agenda?
Well, for what,
Because, so the reason why I say this, and just because we do have our director comments, our section for director comments towards the end.
no, I want this at the beginning.
So are we gonna make adjustments to the agenda?
No,
Okay. And we have it in director's comments where it's supposed to be. So we can just.
well,
move through.
I think,
I don't want, I just don't want to take a lot of time in this count.
okay, then I will just make it shorter.
Okay,
Because, okay, so one thing, first of all, you know, it needs to be noted that my agenda items weren't put on there. And it should have been, but it wasn't, but I finally got one on. Now, the other thing, and this is where I'll shorten everything real fast, is the fact that, when it says that, it says here that I didn't submit a, let's see, where is it? I didn't submit the, what do you call it, category? Is that what it is? It says right on here, can you read this? You don't have to take all these notes, by the way, you don't. Yeah, it says, category. It says not provided. Okay.
for which one are you discussing?
I'm talking about my, the only one that got on the agenda, that I had to fight to get it on the agenda, the finance 8.2.
Okay,
Okay, now it says here that I did not provide a category. Yes, I did. I have an email here that I sent to both you, Chase,
Mhm.
and Hank. And it says right here, board member action item, and to please put this on the agenda. And yet it says here, this is an error. It says I didn't submit it. I did. It's right here and I keep everything. Number two, it says title. I did not submit a title. Yes, I did. It's right here on the email that I sent you and Hank,
Mhm.
and it's underlined and it says hire an in-house finance manager. That is the title. Now, it should be, what do you call it, a title? It should really be called a, what did I say? It is called, it's, a title doesn't make sense. It should be a topic. Now, that's a flaw in the board policy, but so be it. Okay, the last part. It says here that I did not provide supporting documentation. Is that required? I don't know.
if you want, it would be, so for supporting documentation would be for your, if you have supporting
Right.
documentation to go
Okay, so
along
it's
with it.
option.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, so that would be,
but see,
if
that's,
you're trying to make your argument, then that's where you.
yeah, then I get it. And it's just that it's not clear that it makes it look like that I didn't submit anything, and yet I've submitted tons of stuff on this in the past. But I was
But
unclear.
so, and this is
Yeah.
where, just because I don't, like I said, I don't want to take a lot of time in this
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
But when we're submitting that, if, like, if just because you've submitted it before, tons of stuff on this before, doesn't
Yeah.
mean we're automatically gonna put that stuff into this agenda. You have to provide that with your agenda
I get
item every
that.
time.
And it's not necessary,
Okay.
but I want a clarification of whether or not it was a requirement. And so you're saying it's.
If you have something to provide,
Okay,
that would be where you,
see, the board policy is not clear on that. The board, so, and also the board policy, I agree with Hank when he told you that the board policy says, that's what I wanted to talk about too, is that the board policy, and I read it for 2 hours and it's very convoluted. And I agree with Hank when he interpreted it, and I'm interpreting it the same way, that you have to be put on the agenda for the next, that would be May. And that's how Hank interpreted it. I did too. I think.
so then, with that
That's a
said,
flaw.
what I think what we need to do is probably, and I want to go back through that.
All
And
right.
this is where I wanted to get that, because I'm not attached to 5025
Okay.
necessarily.
Okay.
And that's the whole thing that we have to remember in our board policy.
Mhm.
Is everything, it can be a living document. We can change these
Okay,
things, and
okay.
that's what our job is to change and rework and go back through these things to where it fits
Okay.
what we need to do, right?
Yeah, because
So-
the way it's read, the way Hank and I both agreed and interpreted that I'm not allowed to put anything on unless I put it on at a board meeting for the next board meeting. That's how that's how I read it.
That's how you read it. Well, see,
That's
that's not the
how-
way, so that's when I was writing, that's not the way I was
Yeah,
intending it.
yeah,
So
but
that's
that's
where,
how both Hank and I have interpreted it.
so, and so
I
that,
understand
yeah.
why he could put it on.
well, that's
So that's
something that
what I
we need
wanted
to
to say.
adjust then.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, so I'm
Okay.
done.
All right, any adjustments? All right, moving on. Public comment. Members of the public may provide comments to the board on items that are not on the agenda. We welcome and encourage your comments as the board takes them into consideration in our deliberations. Speakers are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. The board may not respond to, discuss, or engage in any types of dialogue regarding any public comment. However, the president may direct questions to staff for later response or future consideration by the board. Appropriate and respectful language and behavior is vital to the functioning of a public meeting. We ask that the board staff and members of the public to speak courteously and respectfully. Therefore, the board prohibits disruptive behavior. Any public comment? Once, twice. So, moving on. Anything on the owl?
No.
Okay. Moving on, consent agenda. All items listed under consent agenda are routine in nature and may be approved by one motion. Approval of March 11th, 2026 regular board meeting minutes and receive and file combined financial reports for February 2026.
I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Ron?
Yeah, great.
Aye. No opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
5-0.
All right, moving on. Into our operation action items, approve resolution 2026-02, declaring an election be held in Forest Hill Public Utility District jurisdiction, requesting the Board of Supervisors to consolidate this election with any other election conducted on said date and requesting election services by the county clerk. Recommendation action, approved resolution of 2026-02. Hank?
So we have an election coming up next November. This is the opportunity that Placer County provides the district to combine our election with theirs at a considerable savings to the district. They'll charge us their fees, which is about $5,000 or $6,000, but it prevents the district from having to create a ballot, circulate a ballot, count a ballot, expenses associated with that. The district has always consolidated their election, never held their own election. And I provided you a copy of the information from Placer County on the election. The required documents, which is a resolution and some disclosures and notice of vacancies. Starting on page. Starting on page 17 is the email from the county. Page 19 is the resolution. Page 21 is the notice of vacancies. Staff's recommendation is to approve the resolution. I'll send that to the county and then we'll be included in their election if it's approved.
Okay, Roger, have anything to add? Mark?
I'm happy to make a motion if you're ready.
I just want to make sure real quick. Ron, anything? No? Diane?
No,
Okay, Mark?
I make a motion to approve resolution 2026-02.
Okay, any public comment? Anything on the owl? Oh, wait, that was just a motion. Sorry, we didn't get a second there. Okay, now public comment. No, anything on the owl?
No, nothing.
None. Coming back, any further board member comment? Nope. Okay, this is your part. We're gonna do a roll call vote, so you can just go right down the list of directors.
President Chase Dowling,
Aye.
Vice President Mark Bell,
Yes.
Treasurer Ron Thompson,
Yes.
Director Roger Pruitt,
Yes.
Director Diane Foster.
yes,
Motion carries 5-0. Moving along into 7.2, local agency formation commission special, so it's the LAFCO Special District Board Member ballot. Recommended action, cast ballot for one candidate and direct president to sign and submit. So, again, thank
So LAFCO is seeking a member of their commission. It's, they have different types of members. There's a board of supervisors, and then there's elected officials from special districts. 3 candidates were nominated. 2 candidates provided statements. The board can vote for 1 candidate. Then I will send that to LAFCO and that will be complete. Another option for the board is to not vote, and then we won't send a ballot. The benefit of casting a ballot is it assists LAFCO with their mission. That you can get a majority of the 37 special districts in Placer County to cast a vote. And so if we don't cast a vote, then who knows, they may have to do another election or whatever it might be, but it's the board's pleasure, where they'd like to cast a vote, select 1 candidate, or not cast a ballot.
Roger?
Sure, so, I want to go down just quickly through all 3. Judy Freeman, is in essence already on the board. She's just asking to be on for another term. And she has a number of other, special districts that are, that nominated her. And she actually is part of the Tahoe City Public Utility District, so they are a water district. Which I'm a little partial to, since we are also a water district. Ross Hutchings didn't take the time to even submit a little blurb on himself. And he's the vector control district, which is substantially different. And then Jennifer Kinsley is a cemetery district. So I'm like I said, a little partial to water districts because we have a little something that's a little more comprehensive. So from my point of view, I would like to propose that we ratify whatever it is, Judy Friedman.
Okay. Ron?
Is this a unified vote? One vote for all?
Yeah. Either we vote for 1 candidate or,
We each vote for one?
no, it's,
That's unified.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know any of them, so I'll just pass on vote. Whatever you guys decide is okay, because I don't know any of them.
Yeah, and that's the problem, isn't, I don't know any of them either, but I think helping out LAFCO with this, because like Hank said, if they get, they have to get 19 ballots submitted for them, so they don't have to redo it again. So I think to help them out would be beneficial to us, I think, or beneficial to them, being a good neighbor, more or less. So with what Mark had said about, what was her name again?
Judy Friedman.
Judy Friedman, being with the water district, I think that's probably as good a vote as any.
Okay.
Mark, would you like to make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion that we cast our ballot for Judy Friedman for the candidate.
Okay. I'll second that. Going out to public comment. No, okay. Anything on the owl?
Nothing.
Okay, and any further board member comment? No? And then Sally, can you read back the motion for me?
So, Mark Bell motion to cast a ballot for the candidate Judy Freeman and Chase Dowling second that motion.
Okay. Perfect. And can we get a roll call vote, please?
Okay, roll call vote. President Chase Dowling,
Yes?
Vice President Mark Bell,
Yes.
Treasurer Ron Thompson,
Yes.
Director Roger Pruitt,
Yes.
and Director Diane Foster.
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0. All right, moving right along into our board member action items. This first one is actually submitted by myself and Diane Foster, which would have been the ad hoc committee. And this is consider selection of independent legal counsel for review of the general manager 2024 employment agreement process. Pursuant to prior board direction, the ad hoc committee has identified and evaluated qualified independent legal counsel to perform a process-based assessment of the negotiation and implementation of the general manager's 2024 employment agreement. The committee will present its recommendation for the consideration, including proposed scope of work and cost. Diane?
Well, the person that I've interviewed a few people and, Tyler, and this is in your, packet. It's on, I don't know what page it's on, past 59. Anyway, Kyler's resume is this. He has a business license. He's the person that I've chosen. And the reason I chose him is because I've discovered that attorneys have a background, and I never knew this before, in open government ethics. And that means that well, I'm not sure exactly what it means, but it's whatever they deal with ethical issues. I believe that's how I interpret it. His background is he has a business license and franchising, California Public Records, open government ethics, land use, planning and zoning, local agency formation, that's LAFCO. He's worked with LAFCO. Municipal law is part of his background, and water is part of his background. And it was the reason why I chose him was because of his background in open government ethics which is what we're wanting somebody to do an assessment for us. That would be under the category of open government ethics, I believe. So that's it.
Okay. And then I also spoke with, Gary Bell over at, Colantano, Highsmith and Watley. And I believe also that, Kyle, Raid with, it's, BBK, I believe, right? Is the law firm BBK?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's correct.
So, I didn't get a chance to speak with him, but, through Diane and our ad hoc committee, she feels very confident with him. The Colantano, Highsmith and Watley, they're also very confident. So either one of those would be, they're, in my opinion, estimation, they're both very, very qualified. So, Roger, you got anything to?
Some type of waste of money doing it, but that's my opinion.
Mark?
Well, probably on that same line, but at the same time, I was really surprised to see that there's a recommendation for a 2-line resume. I really thought you were coming to say the other way around. Now you're really saying either one.
They're from what, yes. That's what
So how many others did you guys look at?
we looked at 5 total,
I've looked at 3 people. I've actually
4.
interviewed 3 people.
And-
3 firms.
And then, no, so it was 5. So then,
Yeah.
cause I interviewed 2, and then, the problem that we were finding is, there was only 2 that were, had the room to be able to do it.
Okay,
So, and out of the 5 that we talked to, there was only 2 that were able to take it on, so. Ron?
No comment. I trust Diane's research.
And with that said, Diane, would you like to make a motion on that?
Very good at motions. Why don't you make the motion? I'm
Okay.
not good with motions.
Okay.
I haven't.
So I'll make a motion to,
I support Kyler's. That's
hire,
Kyler,
it's
Kyler.
Kyler, yes.
Kyler, yes.
Kyler Raden, yes. Kyler Raden with, BBK for our special counsel. For the, let me get back into this. I really thought you were gonna make the motion on this, or else I'd been back.
I would have if I'd written it up, but I didn't find it out.
For the independent, legal counsel
For the
to
assessment.
review, for the review of the general manager 2024 employment agreement process.
Yeah, an assessment. That's the way.
Assessment,
Attorney puts it, the assessment.
the assessment, okay.
Yeah.
So let's go with, not review, the assessment of the general manager 2024 employment agreement process. You want to read that back to me, Sally? Have fun with
That's
that.
all of us, I'm confusing.
Right. So you wanna make a motion to hire Kyle Radin with BBK as the independent legal counsel to assess the,
General Manager's 2024 employment agreement process.
thank you.
Does that sound right?
I think the word negotiation process, because that's what the issue was, the negotiation committee, that's part of the problem. Or that's, I mean, from my perspective, so I think.
Diane, then that, you should have made the motion.
Well, but you didn't ask me to, I would.
I did ask you to.
Well, you didn't be prior to the meeting, I'm just not very good at
Okay,
this. Well, what's on the, what's the?
So what-
essentially?
here's the thing,
Oh,
we'll
here
just,
it is, here it is, right here, read that,
well, so this is, we're gonna do a second
No, I.
for the
But
scope.
we could take that information
Oh,
for
I got you.
the,
Okay.
motion, is what I'm saying.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay.
Um. Oh, I guess, so let's add agreement to the negotiation process. I guess just add the word,
Yeah, that's
negotiation
good, that's good.
would be,
Yeah, can I have that back?
oh,
I gave you a copy already, I think.
okay, so can we hear it again?
Okay, so let's make sure. So we're making, Chase Dowling is making a motion to hire Kyler Radin with BBK as an independent legal counsel to assess the general manager's 2024 general manager agreement to negotiate the process. That
Doesn't sound right.
That
No,
was-
Here, let me see if we can.
Okay, let me do it then, I'll do it.
Okay, so hold on real quick. So I'll withdraw my motion
Okay.
and then now you can do your motion.
Okay, I make a motion that we hire, where is it, Kyler, let's see.
Kyler Radin,
Kyler Radin from BBK, to provide an assessment, on the legitimacy of a negotiation process. And, to, I'm gonna put in the, and to interpret AB 2449. And 54950 California Code. To, let's see, not, I should please, for an assessment, is that what I put down? You have to read it for me.
So Diane Foster is making a motion to hire and
Yeah,
Kyler Radin with BBK
right,
to provide an assessment of legitimacy of negotiation process and to interpret AB 2449 and 54950 California Code.
yeah, that's it, I think, except I'd like the word, negotiation should say committee. Instead,
negotiation committee.
Negotiation committee process?
no process.
Okay,
Just the
just
committee,
negotiation
Yeah.
committee.
yeah.
Okay.
Somebody, can you read it again?
Okay, so Diane Foster to make a motion to hire Kyler Radin with BBK to provide an assessment of legitimacy of negotiation committee and to interpret AB 2449 and 54950 California Code
Regarding the general manager's contract. That's what,
regarding.
yeah, that's it.
The general manager's contract.
Yeah,
general
yeah.
manager.
Okay, I'll second that. Public comment. Yes, Patty?
Waste of money. How much is it?
Hmm?
How much is it?
Not to exceed 5,000.
It's a waste of money, and I've heard a lot of people very negative about it. It's ridiculous.
Any other public comment? No. Anything on the owl?
No comments.
No comments. All right, coming back, any further board member comment?
Yes, if I may. Are you gonna deal with the other parts of the outcome?
Yeah, as far as,
Because it says you're also going to approve.
yeah,
or not
that's,
approve
this is just to get an attorney picked.
Okay, so this is just selection.
Yeah, selection of the attorney.
Okay, that was one thing. And then the other part is you restricted this to the negotiation and not the implementation. I mean, I don't care, but that's what you have written in the text here, is it says negotiation and implementation.
Well, we'll just go with what we've got now.
So you're comfortable with that?
Yeah, the one that I did. And I don't know what he's talking about,
Yeah.
but when we decided already.
All right, Roger, further comment?
You'll
Ron
I've already done it.
and Diane? Okay,
Nope, I'm good.
then let's get a roll call vote, please.
This is a roll call vote for the motion that
Yep.
Diane just, right,
Yep.
okay. So President Chase Dowling,
Yes?
Vice President Mark Bell,
No,
Treasurer Ron Thompson.
Yes,
Director Roger Pruitt,
no,
and Director Diane Foster.
Yes,
All right, now we got that handled. Moving into,
you should clarify that carries 3-2.
that carried, sorry, you are correct, that carried 3-2. Yes, thank you. Now the scope of work for the independent council. I know Diane, you had a scope that you wanted to
yes,
implement.
yes, but, I've never gone through anything like this before, so I'm just trying to figure out, and I haven't talked to Kyler about it either, about what process he would go through. But from my perspective, I would think that I would be submitting something to Kyler on my position, and you've all heard it before. It's nothing new because I've talked about it in past board meetings. So I would be submitting for example, I would be submitting to him the August 14, 24 FPUD board agenda, so he can look at it and look at the number 5, it was number 5 where they chose a negotiate. It says a negotiation team was chosen. So I will submit that, and then also the agenda for that meeting, the FPUD board meeting policy 5060.13, which gosh, what was that one on? I can't remember. But anyway, state law AB 2449, and submitting California Code, Chapter 9, and then submitting the October 9, 2024 board minutes, and then the general manager's contract. And I figured, well, and then I'm thinking then, Mark could submit his position to the attorney. So that's what I'm thinking. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, never been.
Here, take
anything
you
like
to, this is
before.
what can pass this down to or something.
Oh, okay,
And here's one for you as well.
okay.
You. Okay, so what I think, and so I'm just gonna make a motion out of it and see what you guys think. I'd like to make a motion that the board approve the scope of work for independent legal counsel to conduct a process-based assessment of the negotiation and implementation of the general manager's 2024 employment agreement. The scope shall include evaluation of whether the processes followed were consistent with applicable law, including the Brown Act and AB 2449, district policies, and acceptable public agency governance practices, and to provide recommendations for future compliance and transparency. Independent counsel is authorized to request information from individual directors as needed to complete the assessment. All communications and materials provided to counsel shall be documented and preserved as part of the official record of the engagement, and directors shall limit communications with counsel to factual information and documentation relevant to the scope of work, and shall not engage in deliberation outside of duly noticed public meetings, consistent with Brown Act.
I have one addition.
That's my motion, Ron.
Yeah.
You can't make an addition to my motion. You can change it or not agree with it.
Well, there was, I don't know,
What,
AB 2449 and AB 2302.
that's,
They're both concerned with the same thing,
oh, I didn't add 2302, yeah. Just 2449.
because I brought that up several times.
So how are you, what is the approach that you want to do, to get the information? How would we go about giving the information?
So
Yeah,
with that,
yeah,
the information would come, so council would reach out to the directors and ask if basically if they have any
Oh.
factual information.
Okay, that
Okay.
sounds good.
So
All
that,
right.
that's the way, cause I was trying to figure out, we don't want it to go through one person or an ad hoc committee or something like that,
No,
right?
no, no.
Right, so we could have council reach out to individual board directors independently and gather the information, then all the information would be put into the packet.
For him, for the attorney.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, okay, I couldn't figure out how.
You're saying you can't put 2302 on?
Well, yes, you can because.
well, here, hold on, I'd have to amend my.
Oh.
I'd have to amend the motion, cause that was a motion. So,
So before you go on, why
Yes.
don't you just talk about it some more, because
Yeah.
we have some more things we would change.
okay. What you got?
Uh. Well, the scope of work is only including the Brown Act and AB 2449. But the motion that we already approved, was involving two other codes. So you would think that the scope of work would have to approve.
Those codes as well.
Those
Yeah.
codes.
Okay, so hold on, let me do this real quick, just so we're not, I'm gonna rescind my motion. So we're not just sitting with the motion on the floor, but now let's discuss this now that everybody knows what it is.
Okay, and then the next part is, I asked you again, with the first motion, if it included implementation, and that was said no, but this includes implementation.
Now this is included, oh, no, you're saying with, yeah, this is.
So the motion to hire the attorney did not include implementation.
Yeah,
The
so
scope
we
of
can
work
take,
can't include
okay,
implementation.
so let's,
Can you,
Pull
I'm
that.
sorry, but I don't know implementation, I don't know what that means in relevance to this. I don't.
so it'd been like, you know, so the negotiation process
Yeah,
and then the, I don't know how other words besides implementation to use there.
Signing the contract to me would be implementing the negotiation. Or voting on it here would be perhaps part of that implementation.
Yeah, I don't know how else to
okay,
describe it.
I think I
Like
understand.
doing the work, like. the
Yeah, doing the-
implementation.
Well, I wonder if scope of work even needs a motion. It's what you're presenting to him.
Well, the scope of work does need a motion, Ron, because we can't just say we're hiring legal counsel for no
Well,
other reason.
fine.
Then we say, hey, follow these guidelines. This is the stuff we want you to look into from as a board altogether.
Well, I see that. This is vacant of 2302.
Well,
And
we
that's
can
very
add
primary.
2302, Ron.
Add it to the attorney when every.
No, what is this? Well, I'll add it to my motion when we get there.
Oh, well, can I explain it to him though, so he's confused? You'll be able to add that when the attorney reaches out to all of us and says, okay, what do you want to add? That's then you can add that, okay? That's the perfect time to do it.
Well, because it does say the Brown, looking into the Brown Act,
Yeah.
and that's part of
It's
Brown.
all in Brown.
Yeah, it's all in the Brown.
Yeah,
So,
but you can actually give this.
okay, so let's just so we're not getting out of whack here. Let's go down the line. Roger, do you got anything? Oh, hey, Roger, Mark, you do that to me every time.
You keep going, that's okay. So independent counsel is authorized to request information from individual directors. That sounds awesome. I would have expected they could have talked also to the lawyer that was involved. They could have talked to staff. They could have talked to the general manager. This needs to be restricted only to directors. Is that your intent?
You know, you make a good point there, adding, being able to talk to the general manager and, the other legal counsel. I think that's they need to be able to talk to the directors and everybody that was involved, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good add. So let's go with, scope shall evaluate whether the process follows, general managers, where was that in?
That's it was the third paragraph down.
Okay, there we go. Individual director, so what would be good wording for that there? Individual directors, staff and council, right?
Sounds good. We do have Eric here as a potential question, which
Mhm.
would be, it seems to me that some of the work they did might have been covered under, attorney-client privilege. And as such, we would have to do something to rescind that, and I don't.
We'd have, yeah, get into that.
I can help with this.
Okay, thank you, Eric.
So if you hire another attorney
Mhm.
to look at this issue, you then create an attorney-client relationship. You have two attorneys.
Yeah.
And everything you give to that attorney is confidential and privileged. Everything that attorney gives back to you in the form of advice or follow-up questions, seeking information,
Mhm.
all that is protected, stays between the attorney and the district. So if I send an email explaining how the remote board member participation works, for example, under the Brown Act,
Mhm.
to the other meeting to approve something, that email could be submitted to the attorney. You're not breaking privilege because that you brought that person into the attorney-client relationship. So it creates flexibility for you, and you can have a free exchange of information with the attorney without worrying about privilege. That attorney will then, just like me, protect that information and protect the privilege.
Okay.
So it's straightforward and won't be complicated. Perfect getting that.
That's what I love to hear.
So as long as we're getting your input on the next one, it says as part of the official record of the engagement, but that would then be under attorney-client privilege.
Well, the minutes are an official, oh, I'm sorry, whose engagement?
So it says all communications and materials provided to council shall be documented and preserved as part of the official record of the engagement.
Sure.
That's okay.
Who documents it?
The attorney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know something, I realized that, getting back to,
Hey, Diane,
yeah,
real quick,
yeah.
let's just finish with Mark.
I thought he was done.
No,
Okay.
I know, he does that.
Yes, he does.
Just trying to go down.
No, you're doing great, you're doing great.
And that's it.
Okay, so just basically, removing implementation, adding staff and council. And everything else seems to be okay.
Council,
Oh, and sorry, 2302.
well, also the two codes.
Yeah, and the two codes from the previous. So. What were the two codes?
Like, how is it doing?
The ones that, they
So
were
that's
in.
AB 2449.
We got that one.
54950.
54950, which is, that's the Brown Act code.
Because
Yeah.
AB 24.
And then 2302, right?
2302
2302.
were amendments.
Okay, so then let me rewrite this here, including the Ralph M. Brown Act, 54950. 54950. AB 2302. And AB 2449. Okay. 2302. 23. Okay, so with that added. All right,
Well, I want to add something to that too. You left it out.
what?
Okay, so,
Or here, actually, Diane, let's just do this in order. So I'll go with Ron. Ron, do you have anything to,
while it was done.
No,
besides the 2302?
2302.
You got the number.
All right, now,
Yeah, what you left out was the one that you actually used.
isn't that the 54950?
No, it was Ron and I that used that one.
Oh, okay.
And we had both of, Ron and I had both of them, but you used the chapter 9, let's see, it's government code, chapter 9. And the number is 54950 through 54963. That's the one you used.
Yeah, well, so it's 54950 plus through.
I should let him determine that.
No, that's the one we were talking about.
I know, but
We're giving him a direction.
all he's doing is investigating a contract to see if it was legal because Mark was voted while he was.
Well, and the other information, yes,
That's all.
that's not all.
No,
that's-
Let him follow the town.
No, but we have to give him the direction.
Well, if he wants to.
Well, it's only, okay, it's, okay, so it's chapter 9, that needs to be added, because that's the one you
Okay,
used.
so, okay.
Okay, chapter 9, and it's 54950
Yeah,
through 54963. That's the
Through.
one you used, yeah. We used it, but both Ron and I used it as well, but that was the one you focused on.
54963, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that needs to be put in.
AB, okay.
Well.
Yeah.
Then we should go a little deeper then. We're gonna get that way. There were two contracts. One was the district's contract and the other one was Hank.
Well, but he's gonna be investigating the process, the whole, the process,
You can bring that up to him.
and give him the information.
We all submit something.
Okay, so are we,
I think so. yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
So we're gonna try this again.
So final suggestion for you,
Yes,
that you take the part that you have there, plus with the way you like it. Mark that up as your scope of work.
Mhm.
You can hand that to her to go in the minutes, and then you make a motion just to approve that. Rather than making a motion and putting all of those words in the motion.
yeah, so she doesn't have to. So yes,
See why it needs a motion, myself.
Like,
Well, we have to give, we
It's
have,
just a scope of work, it's an idea for him to work on.
well, I know, but it's good to have it defined. Don't you want it defined? We can't just say, just do it. He's gotta be, he has to, yeah, where is
you're gonna have to read it all anyway.
Just research
Yeah.
the vicinity of Mark Bell's vote.
It's good. There's nothing wrong with this.
No, I don't-
Okay.
You don't like it?
okay,
I said, I don't have a problem.
Oh, okay,
I just went 2302 on it.
okay, so,
you got it.
Worded as it is, it's
okay,
okay.
so this is how this would. So then here, Malcolm Brown Act,
You're gonna have to read it all to us anyway.
54963, AB 2302 and AB 2449. That'll go right after this here. So we have the 244, just read that and then pick up here. And then come back down through here. And then right after directors would be staff and council as needed to complete this assessment. And then everything else is unchanged. And that's blocked out.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You didn't know you were gonna have to do so much public speaking with this job.
Isn't this
That's
complicated?
okay.
It's usually simpler.
Okay, so am I just reading this or this is your motion?
I'm going to make a motion regarding to that paper.
Okay. So I move that the board approve the scope of work for independent legal counsel to conduct a process-based assessment of the negotiation of the general manager's 2024 employment agreement. The scope shall include evaluation of whether the processes followed were consistent with the applicable law, including the Ralph M. Brown Act, 54950 through 54963, AB 2302, and AB 2449. District policies and accepted public agency governance practices, and to provide recommendations for future compliance and transparency. Independent counsel is authorized to request information from individuals, staff, and counsel as needed to complete this assessment. All communications and materials provided to counsel shall be documented and preserved as part of an official record of the engagement. Directors shall limit communication with counsel to factual information and documentation relevant to the scope of work, and shall not engage in deliberation outside of a duly noted public meeting consistent with the Brown Act.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
Public comment? No? Anything on the owl?
Nothing on the out.
Nothing on the owl. All right, coming back. Any further board member comment? Oh, okay, we're gonna do a roll call vote.
Okay. President Chase Dowling,
Yes?
Vice President Mark Bell,
No,
Treasurer Ron Thompson,
Yes,
Director Roger Pruitt,
No,
Director Diane Foster.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-2. All right, and moving on. So now we have,
Wait, are you moving on to another, there's one thing that I haven't figured out too.
what's
I
that?
think, well, how are we gonna contact,
Oh, that is a good point, yeah.
I gave you the information. Did you get it?
What's that? Which one? Which
This
one are you
one
talking about?
here, you can have this one. I've got lots. Oh yeah, it is for you. This is for you. I sent it on an email to you. From Tyler.
so you,
Tyler. In
You
other
also-
words, that's his contact. He has agreed to do it. and that's this agreement.
Okay, yeah, so you're talking about getting a person who's going to hire him and all that stuff.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
we need to do. Yes, so,
You haven't finished your sections here. You're gonna have a not to exceed amount?
oh, not to exceed amount to, gosh, dang. All right, yeah, then, well, we've already voted on a not to exceed amount
Yeah, we did.
prior when we decided to do this. It was not to exceed
I don't think we voted to approve the 5,000. We just agreed to.
Look into it and say not
No,
to do
we
that, but
approved the 5,000.
we can do that again pretty soon.
All right.
So not to exceed amount, I'll make a motion that this, review by the independent legal counsel, shall not exceed $5,000.
Wouldn't it be is it written up in here, the way you wrote it?
No,
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay.
Okay,
it was in the previous one
Okay. Oh,
with the ad hoc committee.
oh, okay, all right. Yeah, what was that?
I made a motion to
Yeah,
not to exceed $5,000.
yeah, I'll second it. Yeah.
Public comment? Anything on the out?
No.
Further board member comment, Roger?
I'm still wasting public.
Mark? Okay. Ron? Okay,
Nope, I have
Okay.
nothing.
and roll call vote again.
Roll call vote on the motion. President Chase Dowling.
Yes?
Vice President Mark Bell.
No,
Treasurer Ron Thompson.
Yes,
Director Roger Pruitt.
No,
And Director Diane Foster.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-2.
make sure you speak loud enough so I can record you.
Okay, am I quiet?
Very, yeah.
Yeah, you are.
And then, one last thing that we should do is, probably appoint somebody to look into, or not look into, but, actually hire this firm and then, give them the scope of work.
So it's contractual, right?
President Dowling, you also probably want the board to vote to approve the retention contract, which has terms that bind the district and the law firm, things like indemnity, deposits, whatever it might be.
Okay,
President signs contract.
so if I gotta sign the contract anyways,
so the thing might be to authorize you to sign the contract. Whatever what you're talking about would be something that we would typically approve. We've done that before.
okay,
Yeah, so the board probably should vote to approve the contract and direct the board president to execute and work with the attorney to get the representation going.
I'll give you his email.
well, we have.
Oh, that's right.
You just gave it.
Well, it's on my computer.
So,
It'd be hard for the board to approve a contract without seeing it.
what did we do with, remember when we were hiring the board secretary position, what did you?
So in that case, my motion was to authorize you to, I can't remember the exact wording, but in essence was talk to her, see if she fits into hire her. So
Yeah, and
that's-
to negotiate the contract rate,
The
yeah,
whole thing. That was part of what I included, but that's not a huge contract, but yes, that's what it was.
well, this isn't really a huge contract, I mean, it's not, as far as dollar amounts, but consider.
Yeah.
Well, couldn't you just email Kyler and ask him to provide, he's got all the information in here. But to have him to set it up as a contract, arrangement to make it look. Ask him if he would do the contract or send it.
Well, he'll write up, so,
Yeah, set it up.
so how about this, I'll make a motion to. That's a weird motion coming from me.
No, it's just a goal right now.
Can you give me that motion, Mark, please?
Take care of it.
And I was gonna say, to make the board president.
I feel a little bit strange doing that since I haven't said.
Yeah, since you
no.
voted no on all of it. How about this? Okay, I'll do it then, screw it.
Well,
Just reach
You're
out.
just better at wording than I am.
I understand, thank you.
Yeah, you can reach out to
No,
Kyler.
I don't want to do it though.
By the way, he will answer that telephone. If you call him, you could
Let me
discuss
see
it
what you
with him.
can.
He's,
Yeah, just reach out.
he's always available, yeah.
The ad hoc job.
There is no ad hoc.
Ready?
No, there wasn't one. Oh, yeah, I guess.
There was, but I mean, we basically,
You two are ad hoc.
Well, I did this
You
mess
guys do it.
prior to,
Get in touch with him and
Ad hoc.
have him send a contract and we'll look at it.
okay.
So this isn't the contract.
no, this isn't it's just contact information.
It's a resume.
Yeah.
So it's not a
Proposal
contract,
Letter for legal services.
right, yeah, that's all.
Yeah, but
No,
tell
but I was saying it's got the contact information,
all the information, yeah.
so,
So you're proposing that you want us to
just appoint one
Provide-
person,
provide a person such as yourself to negotiate and assign a contract to make this happen.
yes.
No,
Why not? What's wrong with it?
you can't negotiate the contract of our done.
If you're appointing a person, the board is appointing a representative.
We need to see the damn thing before we.
So if you guys wanna see well, then that makes it a lot easier. If you guys wanna see then it'll come back next board meeting, we'll get a contract, it'll come back in
We
May,
do a special meeting, yeah.
or we can do a special meeting, so you wanna do it that way instead?
Contact it,
What
go,
would make you feel more comfortable?
huh?
I said, what would make you feel more comfortable, Ron?
Just call him, tell him it's a go, make your contract, send it to us, and we'll observe it and we'll agree upon it or whatever.
Okay, but who's gonna contact him?
I'll do it.
Let her do it, she.
I've been,
Okay, how about this? I make a motion that Diane Foster contacts Kyler Raden, that's a funny name. Anyway, Kyler Raden to notify him that the board has requested his services.
Yeah.
And that he needs to write up a contract so we can see it at our next regular board meeting.
okay.
Anybody want to second that? Thanks, Ron. Public comment? Anything on the out?
No.
Okay, coming back, any further board member comment?
I have just one question. So if he writes it up, who does he send that to? You? Who should he send it to? If he does, writes up the contract?
You can probably send it to the board president.
Okay,
That's,
okay. All right.
Just can't sit on
And then, Mr. President, if you want council to look at the agreement to say, yeah, it's standard, nothing special here. Of course, I'm available to look at any contract.
I appreciate that, Eric. I know you are. All right. Roll call vote?
Vote President Chase Dowling.
Yes?
Vice President Mark Bell.
No,
Treasurer Ron Thompson.
it. Yes,
Director Roger Pruitt.
No,
Director Diane Foster.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-2. All right, moving along. I think that's all we have to discuss on that.
Yeah,
I think we got that one wrapped up.
yes.
Okay, then the next one is for you, Diane, goes underneath board member action items.
where are we at now?
We're down at 8.23A,
8
or 8.23, sorry, not here. Eight.
Okay.
Hire an in-house finance manager. The FPUD has been without an in-house finance manager for 3 years. 3 years this April. Board policy 2300 and 2305 was written specifically to apply to finance manager who is physically working in the office. The current remote finance company charges nearly $100,000 more than an in-house contract manager would cost per year. The board must continue posting the position as long as it takes to hire a qualified person to fill the finance manager position. Diane?
Okay, so the FPUD is among the smallest operating water district in Cal, I'm trying to rationalize why we're gonna do it in-house. The FPUD is among the smallest operating water districts in California with a 4-day work week for office staff. It has approximately 2,035 ratepayers, a large percent of them receiving minimal income, and the company operates with about 7 to 8 employees. The point is, the FPUD finances are not overly complicated or sophisticated or time consuming to manage. We should be able to find a qualified person to hire at a reasonable cost to manage the FPUD finances. 3 years ago, following the unexpected death of the part-time in-house finance manager, the general manager outsourced the finance responsibilities to a large expensive firm that cost nearly 4 times what we were paying our finance manager. This firm has cost the ratepayers approximately $100,000 more each year to manage our small company's finances versus hiring a contracted part-time in-house finance manager at a cost between $80,000 to $90,000. I often hear the argument in defense for outsourcing to LSL. That redundancy is important, which means there are multiple people managing a client's financial needs. The reality is these large firms often have a high turnover rate at the lower level of management. The client faces a transition period where a new person must learn their business from scratch, which is costly to the client in terms of time. Unlike an in-house employee who focuses 100% on their company, a large firm juggles multiple clients. Their availability does not guarantee they are immediately available. You cannot walk over to a desk and get an immediate answer from a large external firm. So there's a trade-off. In addition to less cost, an in-house finance manager lives the business. They have a greater depth in the company's operation and respond accordingly to the needs of the company and are very accessible. Third-party transfers of documents, which is costly, is eliminated. People learn from past experience and adjust accordingly. The loss of our finance manager was a tragedy that required finding a solution. In my opinion, the solution should have been and should be now hiring a part-time in-house finance manager and with the help of the directors and the management, develop a fail-safe plan designed to avoid any future disruption in managing the finances of the FPUD. For example, creating strict operating procedures, the acronym is SOP, and using a cloud-based documentation means if an in-house person leaves, a new hire or interim contractor can step in with a minimal disruption. I am requesting the board vote to continue posting an RFP for a part-time finance manager position for as long as it takes. Posting on CSDA, Indeed, and here is a new one. This is a new one I found, and it's called Placer Job Network. And then also posting on the Gold Country Media, as well as others other areas, if people think we should do it. Should this board reject my proposal, in the future, I will propose we reduce our water rates for our customers. After all, if there is the perception the FPUD is so wealthy as to spend thousands more than needed on managing our finances, then the ratepayers deserve a reduction in their water bill.
Roger?
Well, I thought we've hashed this out more than once that we were gonna go with LSL, and it just keeps coming up. I don't see a need to go to anybody else. They've been there every time he's called. We've still got the same person, Jennifer, every time for the past 3 years. So, and if there's any problems, they've got people there to take care of stuff. So I propose we just stay with LSL.
Okay, Mark?
So I was gonna start off and say the same thing. I mean, we already approved in our prior meeting that we were going to continue forward with LSL as our finance manager. And so I'm of that same sort of opinion, but also wanted to address some of the things that were in the write-up that was in here. So one of the things that we heard earlier is that you don't have to have supporting documentation. And I think the document that she just read would have been good to put in as supporting documentation. Notwithstanding that, board policy 2300, which is in there, which is the organization chart, doesn't say anything about having an in-house location support for the finance manager. It shows him on the organization chart.
What does it say?
It doesn't say anything. It shows a line underneath the general manager. And it's just like, it's about the same position that Eric is in, where he is the
Council.
the council.
Yeah, the NRO trend. Doesn't it, there's actually something in 20, it's like 20, there, it says just finance manager, doesn't it? And then finance manager job description.
Legal counsel, general manager, district engineer, finance manager.
Mhm.
So, very similar, depending upon which one you're looking at. So here's the different one.
Mhm.
Same sort of thing.
Mhm.
So nothing says there that that's in-house or out or contracted or anything else. Right, back find my spot. Excuse me a moment there.
And you got enough tabs there, you can find your spot pretty quick.
I hope so. So board policy 2305, which she references, which is the job description. That says absolutely nothing about where they sit or conduct business.
What does it say?
It doesn't say anything about that at all, on where they have to be, or do they have to be here, have to be there, have to be in the house, out of house, sit in the office, nothing. And in fact, Roger performed a lot of his tests, many of them not in the office. He would be home, he would be at some other location, we don't even know where sometimes, to do the district. And this is for somebody that was doing really well for us. On cost, you know, I've been tracking that for quite a while. And I had a little handout for that. Please. Not mine. Peace out. No, I didn't hear that.
You have enough, Mark?
I made 10, so I think.
Oh, that's good.
You guys all have one, there's some for the audience if they want.
You want one? Sure.
So what I'm showing there is, you can see on the left-hand side is the month. I have the invoices there, and then what, for the particular month, the cost was for routine accounting. This month, the bill we just paid recently was $6,270. I have the running 6-month average. And right next to it, I have the 12-month accounting. So over the last 12 months, it's cost us a total of $97,479 for routine monthly accounting. In addition, during this last year, if you look at, that's the other green thing that's on the far right, is it cost us another $41,470 to handle the fiscal year end and the audit. And so if you add those two numbers together, that's, let's call it $140,000. So if someone's gonna do this job for less, if this is over by $100,000, what somebody else is gonna do it, they're gonna do the whole thing for $40,000, $42,000. I do not see that happening. This is somebody's pipe dream. Lastly, I don't see, I see no benefits in having an in-house finance manager. I have specifically requested extensive information and received a complete response, spreadsheets and everything, in under a day from our current finance manager through the GM. Easy to do. You know, a part-time one, as I'm seeing, hearing we're looking for, that they would be looking for, wouldn't be there to do that. This firm is available a lot. So I can't see why, what we would get at all out of going for in-house. I have a motion, I'd like to go ahead and say
Well,
that now.
let me see real quick, Mark. Let me go down the rest of the
Right,
board
we'll
and
do
we'll
that.
come back. Ron?
Well, I do. When LSL came here and gave their
Presentation.
progress, anyway, what they said, that since they don't have anybody else, they cannot guarantee the accuracy of his accounting because they're getting fed all the numbers from the general manager. They can't guarantee this, and ADP is the same way. They can't not guarantee that these are accurate. She said that right in public. It's recorded. This is why you want an in-house, a verification. You must verify everything. Don't assume anything. There's money rolling out of this place like crazy. Okay.
Diane?
Yeah, and what Mark gave us, Mark's missing 2 months here, like July and August of the fiscal year. He didn't include that because I've been keeping tabs too, and I know it's more, and I'm sorry I didn't bring it with me. But it's more than 97,479. And I bet you he didn't include the amount that we were charged for the grand jury's examination of whatever they did for us. And then number two, the other thing, and I know that we have different opinions on this, but if you've got a job description in our board policy, that indicates that position is supposed to be done, not contracted out. It's supposed to be done in the office. And we've got a job description that that's inferred. Yeah, it doesn't say, and it is like all the other employees that we have. We have a job description. They work for us. They are there. We can contact them anytime we want. The same with the finance manager. The person needs to be in the office. And also the chart, it shows that part of our operation is a finance manager. LSL is not a finance manager. They're just doing the numbers, but anyway,
It's all over.
yeah,
The policy.
yeah. And
All
here,
over.
here's the event, and I don't agree that, that it's a pipe dream. Roger did it. What you do is you find somebody, you could find a part-time person, somebody that's retired, that just needs a few hours, because it really, the LSL is taking twice as long as it did Roger to do these finances, which I find appalling, because that's costing us a lot of money. Let's see, what was the other thing that I was gonna mention? So you could have a part-time person, you can have, we haven't given it an opportunity to put something out there long enough to see if we can find somebody. Because I can't believe that there isn't somebody out there that isn't willing to do this. And also what I noticed was there was something called hybrid. It was hybrid on one of the, when we put out the RFPs, that was called, when we put it out, one of them had hybrid on it. And I think that explains why we had so many people that had, that approached us, that they, with their resume, because they thought that they could run the finances remotely. And I'm gonna make sure that I don't see that on the next, if we vote to put out, another, information for a finance manager, it should say hybrid. Because that means that they would, they came from all different states, right? Most of them did, Nevada, Virginia, Texas, I think. Was one.
We had a few local too.
Yeah, well, only one. Oh, yeah, Davis.
Hmm.
Davis. Yeah, so anyway, we need a person in-house. We need a person to do that.
Okay. Mark, do you wanna hit your motion?
Sure. I make a motion, we suspend all further discussions of hiring a finance manager by the board of directors for 3 years.
Okay. Public comment? Yes.
I'd like to know, Ron, the facts you just said, there's just money flowing out of this. Can you give us some facts?
We can't do that, Patty.
Okay, well, I think that's something that he should really,
I can do that.
We can't do this, Patty.
Anyway.
I can do
yeah, I think that that's misconstruing the thing, the facts. Second of all, every time you go into this hiring, in a finance manager, you're not looking at the qualifications of what this utility needs. Do they have GAP? Do they have the other one, GASB or whatever it is? Yeah, so, yeah, and I think that they didn't. So I think, I agree with Mark, Candace, and go on. This is a good company. I think that any figures that they need to know, they can come back in the office and look at them. So I think this is, it's just a barrage of stuff that's ridiculous. It's just getting ridiculous. It's been going on for 6-8 months.
Any other public comment? Anything on the owl?
Yes.
3 minutes. Public comment, you have 3 minutes. Who's on the?
Sue Kiesling?
Sue, you're up. Is she talking? Can she hear us?
I don't see anything.
She raised her hand though.
She raised her hand. Her microphone indicates she is not muted.
Can you see her physically on the screen?
No, I cannot.
Okay, well,
So Sue, if you can hear us, we're not getting your audio. Let me see if I've. Next speakers are all the way up. She is now muted again, so I'm gonna ask her to unmute. She's unmuted.
Sue, are you there? Oh, well, that's,
Should I solicit a chat room?
yeah, see if you can get her, to see if you can
So
get.
Sue, if you can hear us, the chat room is open. You can type your message in there. We're having a problem hearing you.
Give that a minute, see if she starts typing.
I can type her a message.
I mean, everything looks good, right, with the owl? Has it been recording us back and forth? Can you see, I mean, is it moving and?
Mhm.
Okay.
So I sent her a message that said, we can't hear you. Can you type your comment?
And she might have a bad internet service too.
But when she's done, I would like to say something.
Well, we're gonna come back for board member comments.
Oh, good.
Public. Anything?
Nothing. Her microphone, it shows that it's unmuted. The
Stepped out of the room probably.
Yeah, maybe.
microphone is,
Well, with that said, if we can get her, if she comes back and we're able to get her, but we'll go to some further board member comments. Roger? No, Mark?
I'm tempted to address, I guess I will, Ron's concern. There is a whole sequence of events before something gets paid. It's not like it just comes in and they Xerox it and send it to LSL to pay. No, it's gotta go through part of staff to verify it. If it's got like a credit card account, they'll go through all what's on there to make sure it's all there, make sure everything's existing. Then it has to go to somebody else, perhaps it's the general manager. And then it might go to Jennifer, who does get that again to go back and see, to look at it. So these things, it's not like it's going through easily. There are multiple steps. There are typically two signers from this board that sign, not always, but typically. And that background is right there. All you have to do is pick up that list and you say, okay, let's see. Credit card, yep, I see. Oh yeah, here's all the receipts for it. This matches that matches that. It all depends on how much time you want to spend. I've gone through that. I mean, it's something that I'm used to doing. It's pretty easy. So I would say that even though LSL cannot go through all that necessarily for that kind of a limit, and they can't guarantee it, that's something that they would say anyway, I think, without doing a huge audit. So I think we're getting exactly what we were paying for. And I expect even if an in-house finance manager might not go to that extent either. He's gonna rely on staff that has already gone through and done the same thing. So I feel pretty firm, unlike what you're thinking.
Ron?
Well, I do know
Mind you, there's still a motion on the floor, so
this discussion, right?
it's just further board member comment before we vote.
I do in the 3.5 years I've been here. I could count probably one bank statement from Wells Fargo. I have never seen anything from Bank of Merchant Services. I've never seen, I do have, I think, two from Umpqua Bank. When they show the Umpqua Bank has 33, 72, 50, somewhere in there. That is not a full statement. The full statement is Umpqua Bank carries our long-term debt, which is probably about 1.9, or I don't have any idea. I don't get these things. I request them. And I request credit card statements. It takes Sue from the public to get one and send it to her. And then you had to take a magnifying glass because the print was so small, a dark blue, and the background was a lighter blue. It was almost impossible to read. Why did you turn the toner? Why not make it big? These things all lead to not being forthcoming. The same thing with, well, we need a, mark my word, we need a in-house finance manager verification. You just can't do this stuff without having the board. The board doesn't even control the money. You can't even, I went down to the bank, Wells Fargo, to try and get a bank statement. I can't do it. I can sign checks, but he's the only one that gets a statement. And a statement from the credit card. And one for bank and merchant service. You can look at it, you can see deposits, but you don't see any transfers. You don't see any transfers in the Wells Fargo either. None of these have both sides. It just has one side. But you can't verify that this money from Bank of Merchant Services gets back into Wells Fargo checking. Because you don't see transfers into Wells Fargo checking. This is a fact. I have it all. I've got 10 reams of paper I've done in 3.5 years. That's what I do. I research and I find out what's going on.
Diane?
Yeah, I asked Sue to talk on GAP. Sue has a finance background. That used to be her profession. And you and I talked, we talked on the phone, a couple of weeks ago, and you said one of the reasons that you were, how should I say it? Lori Stringer didn't have the GAP background, is what you said. And it gave me the impression that you think that GAP is some kind of a credential or some kind of a study that these people, courses they take. It's not like that at all. I think there's a misconception of what GAP is. GAP is nothing but guidelines about how to run your finances so that everything is up and up. That's all it is. So, you know, when you say, well, you don't think Lori had that background, you don't know that. Most finance people that do finances, they follow GAP. It's really important. So it's not a credential. Okay, and then the other thing I want to point out is that regarding in our board policy, it says that we have a bunch of accounts, okay, they're being charged. I misunderstood and I misspoke when I said months ago that we had a credit card. We do have a credit card, but we have a lot of accounts, like maybe 3 or 4. And our employees charge on it, okay? All right, there is the job of the finance person in-house, and Kelly doesn't do this. She admitted she doesn't do this. She said it's an internal thing. Now, Angela has admitted that she checks it. Now, picture this. Angela is an employee. If she finds something wrong here that was charged, is she really going to go to her boss and say, hey, boss, you know what? This doesn't look right. She's going to get fired. And so that's not her job. It is not her job. She's not a finance person. She doesn't have any credentials. It's not in our board policy. A finance person is supposed to be checking those receipts, not Angela. And so we need somebody. Our board policy specifically says that is their job. And Kelly Telford from LSL has admitted she does not do that. So we've got some problems here. We've got lack of transparency for one. So anyway.
Well, to comment on that, the lack of transparency portion of it, every time there's a check signed, and I think this needs to be probably brought up in policy as well. I think there's only 3 board members that actually go in and sign checks. And so when you go in and sign the checks for the district, all the accounts and everything are right there. And so you can overlook them and go through them and see and ask staff. And I'm not opposed to an in-house finance manager, but when it comes to a transparency issue, you can ask those questions. You can go in and say, hey, what's this? What's this? And all of the information is laid out with the checks that you're signing as the district, right? As a director. So, yeah, the lack of transparency, Could some things be better? But yeah, everything could be better. But anyways, time for a roll call vote.
That's all? We're not gonna. Did they can check numbers?
We already had a motion on the floor, Ron.
Okay.
And then this is,
Did they ever come up?
What we got dinging on?
So it looks like Sue just logged back in, so maybe it was an issue.
Belong?
We can take the.
Can,
public
yeah, can we
comment.
take the public comment now real quick if she's able to?
She is unmuted.
Go ahead, Sue, if you can hear us.
Yeah, I unmuted myself 3 times and I tried to type in on chat, but gee, my chat was disabled. Anyway, I would like to remind everyone that you have to abide by GAAP rules and rules of separation. LSL is only going off the information Hank is giving them. Hank has a degree in agriculture. I'm just saying that separation rules, Hank is in charge of setting up vendors, paying vendors, approving credit cards. Even I've seen him sign off on coding, accounting coding that isn't right. You guys really, really need a finance manager that can handle these things, who's educated in these things, and you really need to consider this because both the LSL and the auditor have a disclaimer that, gee, we don't know if this information is correct because we're just going off of what Hank is giving us. And a finance director could actually look at projects and have ideas to finance, invest. You have everything under the control of one person. And I heard this one person tell you guys how dangerous a finance manager would be. I think it's more dangerous to have one sole person in charge of absolutely everything, especially when it's going against GAAP that policy says the finance manager must follow. Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. Just under the time limit too. Good job. All right.
So did you have a comment before we go forward?
No,
so this is, we're doing a roll call vote on, Mark's motion to suspend all solicitation for a finance manager for the next 3 years.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I said further discussions.
Oh, okay, that's why I wanted to make sure. Did I hear that right?
So
further
it's,
discussion.
it's, that's to me more encompassing than solicitation.
Yeah, to suspend all. I'm sorry, you said
All further discussions
further discussions.
of hiring a finance manager by the board of directors, 3 years.
Chase, can I make just a comment, just for the board's pleasure and your information?
It's gonna be for our pleasure.
For your pleasure and for the public's knowledge.
Yeah.
So we're independently audited every year. An independent firm comes in and they look at all the books. They look at the processes. They look at the separation. They look how we sign checks. They look how we process credit cards. They look at our accounts. They look at every expenditure that we process. And they give us a grade. And so with LSL, the last 3 years, we get what's called an unqualified opinion. And that's, whoa, what's that mean? It means they have no qualifications. They have no suggestions for improvements in how we separate our duties. They have no suggestions for improvements on how we sign our checks, our accounts, the flow of information, the fact that we have a very qualified bookkeeper that prepares things, then that goes through LSL, that goes through several chains of viewing from LSL. So LSL prepares these reports, they show the auditor, and the auditor 3 years running, and by the way, 13 years running, unqualified position. That means they have no comments, no improvements. Our system is solid, it's sound, it's working. And you can read, it's generally in the second paragraph of every audit report. The auditor staking their reputation, staking their license, says our system is good.
Was that a cat?
I'll mute.
It's supposed to be an owl.
So I think that's important for the board to consider. We undergo an independent audit. That auditor says, you're doing great. Your books are great. We have no suggestions to make you better. They've never once said, we think you should have someone that sits in the office part-time. They're happy with what we do. So just for your knowledge, we're doing great. Our books are solid.
Thanks, Hank. All right. Sally,
Okay,
give it to me.
for Mark's motion, President Chase Down,
No.
Vice President Mark Bell.
Yes.
Treasurer Ron Thompson.
So,
Director Roger Pruitt.
Yes.
And Director Diane Foster.
No,
Motion fails. 3-2. Now, I would like to make another motion.
That's 2 to 3.
Or 2-3, sorry.
2-3.
Yes, sorry. I'm so used to saying it the other way around. I'd like to make another motion to suspend all further discussions of hiring a finance manager by the board of directors for 6 months while we try to figure this out. I don't think 3 years is good, but I don't think right now that it's doing anything productive at this point.
figure out what?
So-
Or figure out what?
So we can get a little bit better grasp on what's going on, and then maybe we can actually get some other policies changed and things of that nature.
No, I think I know what.
So, anybody want to
I'll
second that?
yes, I got
Thank you.
something.
We'll come right back to you. Public comment? No, anything on the owl?
Nothing on the out.
Okay, coming back, Roger? Mark,
No, I'm fine.
Ron?
Since April of 23, when you passed, we've been trying to get a finance manager. Keeps getting pushing. Now you want to push them. This is how it works. Get one that's qualified, that's capital, does all that. And hire them for 6 months. If you just hire them, if they pass, if they can do the job, what's the problem? Why do you want to keep pushing things back? Make a decision. Let's give Lori a try. She lives right down the
So
road.
here's the thing. We did vote last month to hire a finance manager, and we did, and we stayed with LSL.
But you
So
didn't
we
make
actually,
an interview,
I
right?
didn't vote
You weren't
yes.
qualified.
you might not have, but the board did,
Yeah,
and it was a 3-2 vote. So with that said, Diane, do you have anything?
yeah, I have a comment. I'm gonna tell you, I was gonna read this, but I decided not to, but now I'm gonna say it. There's an election coming up in July. We pulled papers. There's 3 openings here. I am going to campaign my rear end off. I will go door to door in this whole town for a couple candidates that will support our position of having a finance manager. I will do that. I've already got one candidate already lined up. And I'm going to do what I did last time. When I
Write an
went
email,
door to door.
favorite.
This is ridiculous that you can't, and one other thing regarding what Hank had said, Kelly Telford admitted that the auditor does not, admitted that the auditor does random checks on the internal process, random. And so, and I told you guys this before, an audit means nothing that, oh, he added up the figures, okay. Well, what I'd like to see in this district is a forensic audit. That's what I'd like to see. That's never gonna happen. Because I think there's something going on here. I think we waste money, huge amount of money. So anyway, I will campaign. That's gonna be my priority, going door to door about the fact that we waste money on LSL instead of hiring an in-house finance manager.
Cause Rams that does the accounting, they go through LSL.
Hmm.
Cause LSL
Yeah.
charges us $20,000 or more than that this last time to feed the information there. I would like to see somebody up here do that without hearing it. I would like to verify that.
Roll call vote?
I am so sorry. I didn't get who seconded your motion.
Mark.
Mark. Okay, roll call back.
Actually, read to me one more time, just.
You make the motion to suspend, for the board to suspend further discussions for electing for an in-house account manager for the next 3 months.
Finance manager.
Finance manager.
I think he said.
For the next 6 months.
Oh, 6 months. Okay.
Yes. And then.
And then Mark second.
Well, I'll be gone.
Let me borrow this. It's this, but. You know, this whole piece. here.
I know.
All right, roll call vote.
So roll call vote. President Chase Dowling,
Yes.
Vice President Mark Bell,
Yes.
Treasurer Ron Thompson,
Of course not.
Director Roger Pruitt,
Absolutely, yes.
and Director Diane Foss.
No,
All right, motion carries 3-2, moving along. Board member policy action item, consider revised job description for the treatment plant distribution operator 3 position. This is in the series that we asked you to do, bring us one a month. Back in November or December,
November.
to revise the board member policy, the job description.
So this is the third in a series of five operator positions. It's the level at which the operator will go on call and make some independent decisions, but also receive some direction from other more senior operators. In your packet, there's a short memo. There's the existing job description, and then there's the revision. The revision is a complete rewrite. It does contain some things from the old one, but it's a complete rewrite. So I sat down and I rewrote the description, including things that I know of today that are important for the position.
So hence why there's no strike through, because it's a complete rewrite. No need to waste the paper.
Yes.
Roger?
Good.
Mark?
You might look through it, compare the two. I can see why he says it's rewritten because it does look substantially different. Although, it certainly contains everything it needs to. I think it meshes better with what he has before on an operator 2 in the old version. So yeah, I like this.
Ron?
That was on script. What are you talking about?
We're just going into that, the
No, I don't see.
policy revision. Yeah. Diane?
no, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Mark, you wanna make a motion on that? You're better at it.
I make a motion, we approve the new rewrite of the job description. Sorry, I don't have whatever it is in front of me.
Sorry, it would
Let me
be,
do it again.
yeah.
There we go.
So this T2 would be promoted.
Job description for the treatment plant distribution operator 3.
Yeah, so I redo that for you there. Let's try it again. I make a motion to approve the revised job description for the treatment plant / distribution operator 3.
I'll second that. Public comment? No? Anything on the owl? Unit, coming back, further board member comment? Roger, Mark, Ron?
Can I, did you have a comment, Ron?
No.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
I ask a question? I mean, I just want to know how many, from Hank, how many treatment plant distributor operators are employed now?
4.
Okay, so you did hire somebody then.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
All right. Roll call vote, please.
President Chase Dowling.
Yes?
Vice President Mark Bell,
Yes.
Treasurer Ron Thompson,
Yes.
Director Roger Pruitt,
Yes.
and Director Diane Foster.
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0. All right, moving right along. We don't have any discussion items. And then, moving into our future agenda items, this is, a future board member action item, submitted by Diane Foster.
Oh, are you skipping the general manager's report?
No, that's after.
Oh, okay.
So it's, the board, the future board member action item will be for the board to explore hiring another, attorney firm. The time has come to consider hiring a different attorney firm to represent the FPUD. The current firm has been, the FPUD counsel for approximately 15 years. During this time, there have been some costly decisions made, which was against the financial well-being of the FPUD and the ratepayers. The district would benefit in seeking another attorney firm with a new and fresh perspective on legal matters and advice. Requested outcome: that the board vote to initiate an RFP to replace the current firm with a new attorney firm. So just before we get into this, this is just if we want to place it on next month's agenda, yes or no. That's all we need to do. We don't need to get into the intricacies of it necessarily. It's just so it can be on.
Voting?
Yeah, that's how it's brought forth that way.
Wait a minute, and see, why would you, I can't just put it on? You're saying that I have to have a.
Well, so here's the good thing is,
That's wrong. I didn't know that that's how you have it figured out.
it's
That
okay.
the board gets to vote on what I want to put on the agenda.
You haven't opened, if you're already there, so it's just a formality.
That's not a formality. They're gonna vote no.
Cool. But who's gonna vote?
Who?
Who's gonna vote?
There got two right there.
Don't,
And then.
Diane, relax.
Yeah, but no, that's wrong. That is absolutely wrong that you're saying that everybody gets to vote on what agenda items I want to put on there. That's wrong, Chase.
When we have, if there's room, it goes on automatically.
But you're saying that you want to vote.
But right now, because there's not room, we're gonna vote to see if we can see it next month. So,
They're gonna vote
Just-
no.
Diane,
I can't believe it.
Diane. Relax. Okay, I'll make a motion to move this item to next month's agenda.
What?
You want a second that?
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to move this you don't want this to be on next month's agenda?
Of course I do.
Then second it.
Second it.
Thank you. Okay. Public comment. Coming back, further board member comment, Roger. Mark.
I am surprised we're going so quickly, but yes, I have a whole page of comment.
Okay.
And this is all addressing what's in the fright.
Well, it's like
sentence description.
Like I said, this is just a yes or a no. This is a pretty simple yes or no vote, whether you want to see it on next month's agenda or not.
Okay, I'm fine to stop then, but I'll just say that almost everything in there, I have a counter for, and she's wrong. And
That'll be,
that's part of why I suggested not go on.
Ron?
Absolutely not. What happens if something comes up a week from now?
You want
No.
the agenda, I'm wanting.
This is just board member comment.
He's confused.
I'm not.
I'm confused.
You're trying to make a decision now for 30 days from now. And that doesn't always exist. 2 weeks from now, there's something might come up. What are you gonna do then? It can't be on the agenda?
You're going against my agenda item here. Yes, you are.
I wanna know why.
Voted on it all.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Why,
okay.
why the hell we gotta vote on it?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, let's vote on it, then we'll correct it in policy, please. Okay?
In policy?
Yes, we'll have to correct it. So that's how these things are done.
Hey, can I tell you something?
Nowhere in there does it say we're gonna vote.
Your policy doesn't even exist, let me tell you. It doesn't exist. I'll tell you why later. It's.
Okay, regardless, can we get a roll call vote? Just simple yes or no, that we're going to see this item on next month's agenda.
Agenda.
Yes,
So President Chase Dowling.
yes.
Vice President Mark Bell.
No,
Treasurer Ron Thompson.
You have to vote on my agenda.
Diane, don't coerce you.
Well, of course I want that.
Roger
I don't believe in the policy.
Roger.
No, I don't
Brown
either.
And Diane.
Yes.
Yes.
and Ron, You were a yes?
Yes.
Motion carries 3-2. Moving on. Future policy action items, there are none. Future discussion items, there are none. General Manager's report.
The report is included in your packet. There's a safety meeting update. There's an update on SCADA. We're about 95% complete with the SCADA project. Still have a little bit of work to go. Vehicle 7 is back in service. I can say our new operator, Colin Loken, welcome. Did a lot of work on that, real impressed. So things are working out real good. And then our finance manager, LSL, has a report on their activities through the month.
All right. Any questions for General Manager?
Yeah, I do. Well,
Well, actually, let's just go down the line real quick.
that's
Roger,
fine.
do you have any questions? Mark, do you have any questions? Oh, Ron?
Yeah, I've got a couple things. Last meeting. We were told that you needed. One point, I couldn't find anything with the state that said you needed potable storage water, but there was no amount of tanks required. And then Hank told me, oh no, you have to have 1.9 million gallons. And then I squeezed out with well, it's American water standard. So I want to read you something. This needs to be brought out.
Hold on real quick, Ron. Give me just a
I've
second.
got two things.
Well, give me just a second. So is this on tonight's General Manager's report? Because we do have director like information items. So if you want to hold that to director, let's get through the General Manager's report. If you have anything to comment on tonight's General Manager's report, because then you can bring that up in your
Okay, I'll bring it.
director's information. Or do you have any
Bring it up
questions
in
about
options,
tonight?
Okay,
What's that?
bring it up in options.
Okay, then we can do that. All right, Diane?
okay, so on the SCADA, I did an Excel program on it. And the cost has been, I sent you a copy, I believe, $141,000 from SCADA so far. And we have 5% more to go. What I don't understand, maybe Hank can explain it to me, is that it says that they haven't implemented phase 6 yet, but phase 6 we've been paying for it since July. So I don't get that. I guess I'm confused about that. We're evaluating, yeah, Vince says, is it Vince or late Nathan, I guess it's Nathan. In his memo, he said that we're evaluating a few things at the pump station to see if phase 6 will be possible at this time. Well, what does that mean? Because I know we paid for stuff because I've seen it in the disbursement. I just want Hank to explain it to me. I don't understand.
So we pay as the work is complete. So whatever we paid for, the work is complete.
So phase 6 is complete then, because that's what's in the disbursement.
I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, it says, I've got all the information.
I'd have to look at what exactly phase 6 was contained in phase 6 and then compare that to the billings. So it would be a little more productive instead of surprise, look it up now. If you got me the information, I can look it up and I can have something for you.
Well, I have the information that says we've been paying for it since July, phase 6.
That may well be.
Yeah,
We pay as we go. So when work is completed on phase 6, we pay for the work that's completed.
okay. So moving on, I want to also ask, in the general manager's report, did we buy a generator?
We did buy a generator
Okay, so
in
then.
December of
Twenty
Okay,
twenty-five.
we have never received, and this is what you've been giving me, where is it, here it is. And because I've asked you that question, how much did it cost and what generator, and you always give me this. However, and then I've mentioned this as well to the board, that on page 3, it says that this is not the accurate amount. So I want to know how much it cost. Because it
I
says,
don't have that number, but it's something like 137.
You cannot buy a 270,000 watt KV generator for 137,000.
I think you did.
It's
didn't you?
400 and some thousand.
So,
300.
we have a receipt then.
That's your receipt. I've sent it to the board several
This
times.
is not a receipt.
That's the.
So let's not get in, Diane, let's not get into it.
Did you read it?
That was the quote, and he's purchased, where was that? Was that in January's report that you showed? Because that was through a grant through PCWA,
Yes.
right? For $135,000. And we authorized up to 140, right?
Yeah, so we got.
And so the generator was 137,
Yes.
okay, for 250 KW?
260.
275, okay, 275,
Sales
Okay.
agreement.
275,
Mm,
somewhere in there, right?
yeah,
It's gonna be enough to run, we only need one generator.
correct.
Okay, and then did you bring us that purchase agreement in January or February? Were we
I
able to
sent
look
it
at
to you. I don't know about January or February,
No.
but I've sent it several times. And I
Yes,
just
you
sent it
have.
to the whole board this last, within a month.
So, and we approved you to spend that amount of money
Yes,
in,
December.
December. As a board.
Maybe November. Because I believe, Diane, if you look at the date on the sales contract you have there in your hands, I think the date is December 1st or something like that. So it may have been November.
It was December.
Might have been November's meeting instead.
It was December that we got this. However, what I'm saying is, this says that this is not accurate. I'd like to know, I'd like a receipt of what it cost. That's all
That's
I'm
the
asking.
receipt there that you got.
But it says right up here, it's not.
So, but, okay,
It says it's not.
Diane, that's from Cummins, and so that might be a caveat in their council language, right, their attorney language, it says, hey, this is some, but that's what they gave him. So I don't know,
This is not acceptable.
You send out an
This is a
RFP,
lot.
get back.
Sorry.
so what we can do,
Back up in,
Is-
this is not a contract.
Well,
Hank, can you find us the
the receipt,
just the bank statement that shows that we did that, or when is the generator gonna be delivered?
The expected delivery is June,
June?
probably late June. The transfer switch is expected the first part of June. And then the generator should be here, mid to late June.
Who's gonna install it?
yeah, I would like to know that too. Who's installing?
Um,
Peters?
So the installation will be a public works construction project. We will go out to bid for that installation. Staff will review the bids that are received. They'll present to the board the lowest responsible bid. The board will either accept that bid or reject that bid.
And when will that be? June? That be?
As soon as the bid documents are ready, they're in preparation at this time.
So within the next 6 months?
I sure hope so.
Okay, so
How
within the
many
next,
RFPs are gonna send out?
well, you send out.
We don't
just
send out
and then
RFPs for
get
a
them in.
public works contract. You,
Well, have bid. That makes a difference.
So you're gonna give us,
So-
the board's gonna get the bids to see, to look at.
no,
them,
the
right?
board isn't gonna get the bids. The board is gonna get the lowest responsible bid.
We're not
So
gonna see
bids
the
will
free-
go out, we'll advertise on the Sacramento Builders Exchange. Qualified applicants will submit bids. We'll have a pre-bid walkthrough. We'll review the bids. We'll select the lowest responsible bid and present that to the board.
Are you going to give us the choices though, that you're
So-
gonna look at?
Give me just, Eric, can you help us with this, please, to explain this process so Diane can,
I know the process.
Yeah, the process that was just described is the normal process that all local public agencies like public utility districts, irrigation districts, reclamation districts, California water districts, the whole 9 yards, that they all go through when they do a public works project. And it is normal for staff to submit to the board the recommended bid, lowest responsive bid, not necessarily the lowest cost bid, because it might be a lower quality contractor, or there's some reason that that's not really the best deal. So it's up to staff to recommend the best deal, and then they have a discussion about it, and then you decide what to do.
That's exactly, you take the lowest, throw it out, you take the highest, throw it.
not necessarily.
That's
No, this is under
I know
procurement.
what you state there.
No, but you have the state and the procurement or the state, there's two different methods.
So,
And I wanna know, okay, I will tell you quite frankly, I called those people for SCADA. I'm sorry, I called them. And they told me a different story than what I was told. There is a violation of the procurement. I'm sorry, it is. I've proved it. And that's why I'm looking at this, and I would like, why shouldn't the board know what companies, we don't have to know the numbers. Just what companies did Hank, that respond to Hank? Because our board didn't know about SCADA for a long time. What were the three? It was Mark that mentioned it. I called those people and I had a talk with them. We are in violation, and are we gonna be in violation
So
again?
give me a
for this?
second. Eric, can you help us out here, please? Because I'm not a lawyer, so.
I understand the procurement.
So as we discussed at the last board meeting, where the same concerns were raised, contracting for the SCADA work doesn't have to go through the competitive bidding process for two reasons. One, and I think this is what the general manager explained at the last meeting, understanding the work as hiring a professional services contractor to work with particular used parts, which were required at, required, as I understand it, I'm not an electrical engineer, because it was a good deal for the district as opposed to getting something brand new. And hiring a professional that had the know-how to integrate that into your existing system. The other exception, and I didn't bring this because I didn't know we were going to be talking about this topic. Frankly, it's off the agenda, right? But it's tangentially related to this public works process that was described for the generator installation. The competitive bidding laws, the courts apply them when they provide the competitive bidding benefit. If you're doing something so unique that there aren't going to be a bunch of contractors out there who all have the know-how to do the very unique thing, the courts have said you don't have to do competitive bidding because it's not going to help you. If there's only a few people or one person that you know that's going to have the skills, background knowledge to integrate these used parts into your existing system, then the benefit of competitive bidding wouldn't be there because you're not going to get all these different options that have that particular expertise. So those are the two reasons why competitive bidding, as I understand it, wasn't done.
Well, but you're describing procurement, right? I understand the bids aren't required and we didn't do it. Hank brought it up that we did the procurement process, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, we
Procurement.
were just talking about competitive bidding for the generator installation, not procurement.
Well,
Oh, okay, either one would work for me if I saw one of the choices.
Eric, you're right to the point,
Wait,
but just a minute. So we throw out the policies on the procedure to how to purchase. For example, on policy 3081, purchasing, construction, maintenance, or repair. Maintenance defined as blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you get down to bid procedure. This is for repair work with costs over 15,000. So with this maintenance means routine, recurring, preservation, protection, keeping of my policy owned, so on, and anyway. So what it does, it comes down to 308120. For each complete project for a new construction or project for any alteration, maintenance, or repair for which the cost of the material applies labor exceeding $15,000, the board of directors shall advertise for bids for the project. To purchase such construction, maintenance, or repair work, the following procedures shall be followed. 21. The board of directors shall adopt plans and the specifications, strain sheets, working details for the project, and shall advertise for bids for the project in accordance with the plans and specifications. All bidders shall be afforded an opportunity to examine such plans and specifications. The plans shall be adopted and attached anyway. It goes on, and it also requires in 308124, all bids for construction work shall be presented under sealed cover and shall be accompanied by a bidder's bond, certified or cashier's check in cash in or cash in the amount not to exceed more than 10% of the total bid. Upon award of the lowest bidder, the security of the unsuccessful bidder shall be returned within 60 days. The contract for the project shall be awarded to the responsible bidder. And it also says down in 3081.31, the general manager, division manager, or division supervisor authorized to direct the appropriate district employee to solicit quotes from vendors to obtain any necessary construction, maintenance, or repair. The district employee shall obtain a minimum of 3 quotes for each type of work, except in those cases where either the employee is unable to identify at least 3, or if it's fewer than 3, who perform the work, they are willing to provide quotes. When the employee is unable to identify at least 3 vendors which are willing to perform such work, the employee shall provide the board of directors with a list of all vendors from whom quotes were solicited. Never happened. And if possible, the reasons they decline to provide a quote, all quotes must be in writing. Now, when you talk to, there are about a dozen SCADA, that's what they specialize in. You talk to them. They got a call from, I don't know if it's all true, but they're saying it was Michael Bora.
So hold on.
Yes, that's right.
No, I know,
Right.
but what we gotta remember here is
That's right.
this was not in the general manager's report. SCADA was not. So
Yeah, it was.
did you talk about SCADA?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, I thought it was, I'm like, okay, keep going. I thought, I'm getting freaking loopy here.
Well, it normally wasn't on the website, but he
The
did.
general manager shall review quotes, provided a written recommendation to the board of directors after considering price, terms, and performance. After review of the written recommendation, the board of directors may authorize the general manager to enter into a contract or issue a purchase order for the specific construction, maintenance, or repair work. Then you have an annual construction, maintenance, and repair work.
Ron,
All these things need RFPs. And you come back here to the 82. It says that district staff shall prepare a request for RFPs describing the scope of work. A notice of the RFP will be mailed to known service providers and published in a local paper and general circulate. The general manager shall review all proposals received and make a recommendation to the board regarding which service provider to select. There were people contacted. And the generator we were talking about, it was $137,000. I have that also. It shows anyway. The actual cost was $348,000 for this big generator.
that was one.
That's the 275.
That was one of the 275s. And then what we voted on,
We
As a
only
board.
had one.
no, we had Cummins, Cat, and Kohler.
No, we didn't.
No, we
Yes,
didn't.
we
No,
did.
no, we
There
didn't.
were no 275.
Not for the big one.
Thank you.
Not for the big one. It
So-
was-
Anyways,
There was one for a 40 and one for a
Yeah.
200, and then one for a.
and then what we voted on, we said, Hank, spend up to $140,000. We authorize $140,000. Go get the right equipment.
But this came back from Cummins. I tried to contact that man. What did I get? I got an email that said FT something, and that was a part number. And when I called over
Beat
there,
the dead
there was
horse.
no Cummins.
There isn't. It's
There
true.
was no
I got
Cummins.
India. When I
There-
called, I
So,
got India.
okay, here, how about this? So we
I followed.
because we're talking in circles.
No,
Well,
we're
we-
not.
No, we're not. We're just giving you the facts.
Maybe you guys don't see it as circles. I'm getting loopy here.
What he's
But-
trying to tell you is that the bidding process was
Good
fine.
call.
And I called the people and they didn't, they were contacted. These people were called. And I talked to two of the different firms and they gave a different story. They did not produce anything.
One guy got spooked out.
Yeah, one guy.
So Chase, for the board's
Thank you.
pleasure,
Please, for heaven's
it's a selective reading of policy
actually-
3081. Let me just finish
Yeah,
this.
go ahead.
It's in 3081.31.
Which
The final paragraph says,
which one?
when employees are unable to identify at least 3 vendors who are willing to perform such work, the employee shall provide the board of directors with a list of all vendors from whom quotes were solicited, and if possible, the reason why they declined to provide a quote. I sent an email to the board in October with a list of the vendors that we contacted for the SCADA project and the reasons why 3 of the vendors, of the 4 vendors we contacted were not selected. So you can read 3081 at length until people go to sleep, or you can read the pertinent part that was used to make the selection.
But there's a dozen online.
Okay, well, here, give me just a second. Folks, we've now hit 2 hours. So we have to have a vote to continue this meeting. I'll make a motion to continue this meeting after a 5-minute recess so people can use the restroom. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. All right, 5-minute recess?
Was that 5-0? I didn't.
Yes.
Catch it.
I walk on under protest. It's outrageous. We won't cook up, bring out everything. I can't believe it.
you know. Where it is. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Jump right into it.
You know, with regarding the minutes. You're really doing a great job. See, but what I did was I was gonna give you. I did, I don't think that, not this one, but another one. And I typed it as a template and then with everything here. And then I left and read what all you had to fill in.
Oh,
You
nice.
see, in other words, that, because this is, it's pretty easy to take.
Pretty standard.
It is, it really is. One other stuff. And it has nothing to do with this.
Give me some. All right, meeting is back in session at 8:09. Finishing up general manager's report. Real quick, Diane.
Yeah.
We do have a long meeting. so-
No, it is quick. So I really like this stuff, as you know, I like the inserts that comes in the bill. Okay, so it came, but I'm not understanding this part where it says, it'll say the next Forest Hill meeting. And it says that, it says, check your Forest Hill website for an agenda, which will be posted 72 hours before the meeting.
That's the Brown Act.
But why, but it's posted 7 days before.
Yeah, so it's early, yeah, but at
It's
least.
going
72
above and beyond in order
Yeah.
to be extra transparent and sunshiny.
Yeah,
Why can't you just put down a week before, or you could transfer them to hours if you like, which would be ridiculous, but why not? 7 days. Why are you saying that they'll be ready?
probably the reason why they put that, Diane, I'm guessing, is just because that's what the Brown Act requires, is 3 days. 72 hours.
But that's not what we're doing.
Yeah, so, but I'm just saying,
Well, that's no excuse. It should be,
we're doing much better.
no, we're not. You're telling the people, oh, don't expect it 3 days until 3 days before the meeting, when they could look at it a week before the meeting. And that's all I'm saying. This is odd to me.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, director
Chase,
items.
did you let the record show that, Director Thompson left the meeting under protest?
Oh, yes. Director Thompson has left the meeting under protest in our break. So, anyway. Director items, information only, I would like to say, ladies and gentlemen, we have a board secretary. We have hired a board secretary. Her name is Sally Hicks. Tonight is her first night, so I'd like everybody to welcome her because she is a fantastic person. Roger, you got anything to add?
No.
Mark, Diane, anything more?
No, that's it.
All right, then everybody, at this time, we are going to go into our closed session. And we'll be reporting out after we are done.
And as we are about to go do that, I'm gonna state that the closed session is a conference with real property negotiators pursuant to government code, section 54956.8. It concerns property, which is the potential to sell 2,000 acre feet of Sugar Pine Reservoir water. And the negotiators are Chase Dowling and Henry White.
All right, thank you for that. If you guys want to hang out, I don't know how long it's gonna take. All right. All right, closed session is open, open session is back in at 8:47. The report out of closed session is the board has decided to let the negotiators pursue the transfer of water of 2,000 acre feet of water
In 2026.
in 2026. And that is the report. And with that said, there's no public here to comment, so meeting adjourned at 8:47.
Okay.
Got that, Sally?
I hope so.
Mr. Hank,
Hang on one second. Let me finish this,
Yeah.
finish the recording.
I know you got